All right, guys. Well, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody is doing good. Did we get the link in EE? Did someone send the link there? Perfect. Okay, Braden sent it. Thank you, Braden. Cool. Yeah, exactly. I showed up at the wrong job. Anyways, all right, guys. So let me share my screen, and we're gonna jump into our analysis here. So what I just did on accident is I just hopped on my own Discord and started the live on there, and totally forgot to hop on this live. So we are here now. We are here now, and we're going to start our analysis over again. Walking into the wrong class. Exactly, bro. All right. So let's pull up the daily. So what I was just going through a little bit was talking about weekly profile and how we still have a weekly buy profile right now. Looking at how on Monday we traded down into a bullish fair value gap on the daily. And we got a strong reaction off of that. So if we're looking at weekly profiles, sometimes what we'll see is on a Tuesday when we're bearish on both days, we'll see Tuesday come down and make another low. We'll see Tuesday come sweep Monday low, and then we'll see that Wednesday reversal pushing back up for the highs of the week. So that's kind of something. It looks like we want to do that today. So we're gonna pay attention to that. Overall, in a weekly bias is still bullish right now. So I have a weekly bullish bias still. So we're going to start looking at our setups. But what I was talking about as well is the 4-hour. Right, we have a bunch of resistance up here on the 4-hour time frame, where we traded into this 4-hour SIBI up here. We saw a very strong reaction. But the thing is, we are just bouncing between 4-hour SIBI, 4-hour busy. So on a weekly time frame, we want to see us either trade right through the weekly busy or right through the weekly SIBI. And what I want to see is us come down and sweep previous day low today, and then start to get that reversal, and then look tomorrow for price to start completely reversing back up to buy side liquidity, right? That's my initial analysis on the week, just thinking about weekly profile. So again, today I'm expecting a little bit of a bearish sentiment. I do want to see if price is going to come back down and try to take out previous day low. That's going to be my initial idea. Looking at this market, let's go to the hourly. Something I was talking about was we have a few hourly highs up here that we might want to sweep those hourly highs before we end up coming down and trying to sweep previous lows, like this hourly low down here. Let's look at that hourly low. Boom, right there. So at market open, I'm looking for a manipulation move first. Right now, we are kind of consolidating, even on our higher time frame. So I want to see a little bit of a manipulation, maybe coming up to grab buy side and then a reversal. Or we're just going to start seeing us start selling off pretty quick. We're already looking a little bit bearish here on our lower time frames. Let's go all the way down to the 15-minute real quick, and let's see what our previous session highs and lows are. So this up here is actually our Asia high, right? So it's a very key level up here, and that's why another reason I want to see us come up and sweep that level, because that's our Asia kill zone high up there. Okay, so we're going to chart that. And then what is this high right here? This is actually our London kill zone high. So two previous session highs that are unmitigated right now that I definitely want to see us come back for at some point. So we got that London high. Right now they seem a little bit protected, like we don't want to move up and grab those highs. But I do expect us to try and come back for those highs at some point. And then if we come all the way down here, our London low technically is about, we look at around 445.5, but this could technically be our London low down here at a 5 a.m. So right there could be our London low. Boom, boom, boom. Where's London low? There we go. Okay, so London low, unmitigated. And then this is our previous day low down here, also our PM session low. So a bunch of previous session highs and lows that we have not taken already. We have already not taken. So I do want to see what's up, Trade 903. DeLove King, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. I'm sure they will be dropping some codes, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm sure there will be a code. But good morning to everybody. Welcome. The market is opening in just a few minutes. So right now, Trade 903, my bias, if I'm thinking about weekly profile, is still a little bit bearish right now. I want to see if we want to come back down and sweep London low and previous day low, back into the daily bullish for value gap, and then reverse back up to the highs. Oh, good point. Good question, Forever Loading. This is new day opening gap right here. This blue level is new day opening gap. New day opening gap. So this is a good level to pay attention to. It usually acts as some good support and resistance. Hey. Here, I can actually send you the link right now to my community. Let me send you that link real quick. You can join it for free right there. Yeah, so this session, this is for free right now, and this is with Fun and Futures Network, right? And then I have my Discord, my community. I do trade for free on Fridays there, and then the rest is VIP. But we have a free chat room. I have a bunch of free education, so if you want to check it out, that's the link right there. So right now, my sentiment is still bearish at the moment just because of weekly profile. But we're going to just read price action here because we are bouncing pretty hard off a 4-hour bullish fair value gap down here. And ES doesn't have a ton of resistance that we're looking at over here. So we're going to really read ES today. And we're going to see what happens on market open, right? Right now, I'm still a little bit bearish at the moment, but on a weekly time frame, I am bullish, right? On a weekly time frame, I am bullish. So, market's about to open. What we're going to do is we're going to be very patient. We're going to be waiting for our setup. And as you can see, market is opening now. So yeah, guys, remember, feel free to shoot me any questions throughout this session. I'm here to help. No, right now I'm just going to be trading an FFN account. Just going to be trading an FFN account right now. And then later during our session on EE, I'll end up trading the live. All right, guys. So market's opening, looking a little bullish right now. Let's go all the way down to the 1 minute time frame and see what we're looking like on a structure wise. Structure-wise, we came down and we swept some lows, some internal lows, nothing too crazy. We're right at the middle of New Day opening gap, which is a very key level here. So if we start pushing above New Day opening gap, then I would expect these longs to try to step in and take out London high, Asia high. Now, if we're going to really bounce off New Day opening gap, that's when I'm going to start looking for possible shorts. All right, and we got to look at our higher time frames here. We got to look at our 5 or 15 minute. Our 5 minute looks extremely bullish, but look at all this low resistance liquidity down here, right? We've got all these just small swing lows that I definitely expect us to try and grab. A lot of low resistance liquidity that I would expect us to come down for. So I want to see if we're going to start coming down for that liquidity sometime soon. So right now we're kind of stuck at VWAP. We can't really break through yet. But I want to see these shorts start stepping in somewhat soon here. And here we go. Now we're starting to step in a little bit. We do have a little bit of SMT. Yeah, so it looks like we did take our Asia high right over here on ES. So that is a little bit of bullish or bearish SMT up here, which could mean that we start seeing NQ start to drop down here, right? So I would like to see these shorts start stepping in. I want to look for a good short opportunity, pretty quick into this market open here. If we can see a good opportunity, right? I'm not going to force any trades, but I do want to see if we're going to see a nice move to grab all this low resistance liquidity and come down for London low here. So I want to see a nice fair value gap entry. We just created a bearish breaker here on the 1 minute. Nice bearish breaker on the 1 minute here. So you guys can already see these shorts are stepping in. So you could already look to jump into the shorts off that bearish breaker, right? I wouldn't chase them down here, that's for sure. But once you saw that bearish breaker created, you could have looked to target that entry there on the 1 minute. What I want to wait for is us to retrace back into that breaker, or for us to create a nice fair value gap for me to get an entry off of to really take down and grab all of this liquidity here. All right, so we got a really nice bounce off of New Day opening gap. Very nice bounce off that level. Now I want to see if there's a good entry opportunity here. I'm not going to chase price all the way down here and get a terrible entry and get stopped out. That's not what I do. I look for a really solid A+ setup. All right, so now we're retesting. We are retesting that breaker right now. So there's still not a great entry opportunity here. We're still a little bit back and forth. I'm on the 1 minute time frame right now. I'm on the 1 minute time frame here, looking at that bearish breaker. So what we want to see is on the 5 minute. I would like to see us close below some recent lows, like these ones down here, and really come down for that liquidity. And what we might need to do today is we might need to wait for the 15-minute candle to close to get our opening range level. Because as you can see, we are kind of choppy right now. We're kind of back and forth. Not as much choppy, but Not having a lot of follow through. Yes, this is a bearish breaker, Chickling. Right here is a 1 minute. You see this high, low, higher high displacement of the lows here? That would be a bearish breaker. Again, it's only on the 1 minute, so it's not as strong of a level here when we're looking at the 1 minute time frame. That's why I don't love jumping into a super aggressive entry yet off the 1 minute. I want to see more confirmation when it comes to the 5 and the 15 minute. And for all of my members that are here, you guys know I like to be more conservative, right? And what does that conservative mindset allow us to do? It allows us to wait through some of the really difficult price action and some of the unpredictable price action. We wait through that stuff and we wait for our perfect setups, and then we take our entries. Right? That's what we like to do here. That's what I like to do. So as much as I wanted to start seeing those shorts come in, this is now starting to look a little bit more like a manipulation move. Grabbing sell side liquidity, souping some lows here, and then coming back up, right? It doesn't look like real fall through. We have a really long wick on the 5 minute, just closed. So what we want to see is if we're going to start pushing through this high and through new day opening gap here, then we might see these longs really come up for London high and Asia high, which that's what's starting to look like right now. That's what we're starting to look like right now. Like we really want to come up for London high, Asia high here. We're also trying to create a bullish breaker. Okay, so no more bearish breaker. That's been disrespected. We do have the 4-hour SIBI, right? And that's why I don't want to see us trade too far above. All I want to see is if we're going to just grab London high, Asia high, right? Trade into the 4-hour SIBI. And then if you look, right, we have this hourly unicorn, bearish unicorn, where we have the breaker block up here and then the fair value gap. Right there, the unicorn. We have this 15-minute bearish unicorn up here. So still a bunch of resistance that I would want to see us just come up and sweep London high, Asia high, and then start reversing. That's what I would start looking for. I would start looking for that reversal. All right, guys. But, you know, in our community right now, you know, we haven't lost in 5 trading days. We're on a little bit of a solid streak here. And the reason for that is just because we are, you know, we're very patient. We are very patient, and we really do our best not to take bad setups. You know, we're only looking to take our A-plus setups. Yes, I do offer education. I have a free course. I have about 10 free educational videos. 10 free educational videos. Yeah, so a bunch of free stuff. We have a free chat room. And then in my VIP Discord, you know, I do live trading every day, where every session that I trade, we are really walking through every setup that I see. I don't just say, hey, I'm getting in long or I'm getting in short. No, I tell you exactly what I see in the market because I want everybody to learn. So that's what we do. There we go, guys. So there's a 50% off reset. The code is TraderJoe50. If you want to use that link right there, that'll take you to resetting your account. Thank you, Honest Money, for sending that. All right, guys. So we just grabbed London high up here. We just grabbed London high. We got the bullish reversal pattern. A little bit of almost a bullish unicorn right here. Right, where we got this low high, lower low, displaced from the highs with the fair value gap. So we do have a little bit of a bullish unicorn, but here's the deal. Let's say we did retrace down to here. What's the reward looking like? That's actually not too bad up to Asia high. So if we did come back down and retrace here, I might look for a little long setup off this 1 minute busy fair value gap up to Asia high. That might be a decent setup. The reward's around 100 ticks, so that's pretty good. I would keep around a 40, 50 tick stop here below the fair value gap. It just depends if price can come back down for us and actually give us a good entry level. Like I said before, I'm not going to chase up here just to try and catch 50 ticks. I'm going to wait for us to retrace into a good support level like a fair value gap and then get my entry off of that level and take it up to Asia high for a TP. That's what I'll be waiting for. So let's see if we can get that retracement move here. Can we get that retracement? All right. We're trying to. Yeah, very slow open. You are correct. That's a very slow open. It's probably because we don't have a ton of news today, right? We don't really have much news at all. We had a few yellow folder events, and we really just have FOMC members speaking today. That's really all we have. And tomorrow we have, what do we have? CPI and then PPI, or is it PPI then CPI? We can look real quick. Tomorrow we have CPI and then Thursday we have PPI, right? So today could be somewhat of a range day, preparing for our those data releases, right? We could see somewhat of a range day. We could see a lot of people maybe sitting out. It is also a post-bank holiday market today, so it could be a little bit slower. A few different reasons for that. Okay, now we're retracing. Here we go. I want to see us retrace into this 1 minute, and then I want to see us bounce, and I want to look for a long entry up to Asia high here. But I need to see a good bounce. If we're going to just trade right through this level, I'm not going to jump into the longs. I want to see us really bounce here, and I want to see us trade into all the way up to Asia high. So I'd look for my entry off the bounce here. Okay, that's a pretty good bounce. I'm going to target an entry here, guys. I just got my entry. So I'm in the longs at 21.22653, and it's aggressive. It's an aggressive entry. It's an aggressive entry here. I didn't wait for too crazy of a bounce, but I'm willing to be a little bit more risky here. So 22650 is my entry. So I'm willing to be a little bit more aggressive on this initial entry. So I'm looking for about 91 ticks for a first TP. So I'm only in half a lot right now, and I might add into a full here if we start bouncing. I'm going to add into a full here, guys. I'm going to add into a full. I'm going to give this one a shot. So my entry moves up a little bit, 227. Just a little bit. I'm going to keep my stop. Let's see. We're looking for about 90 ticks, so I'm going to keep a 45 tick stop here. Keep it at a 1 to 2. Now, I would like to keep my stop below the fair value gap, but right now, I'm not going to go over, less than a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So first TP is at 21.24950. 21.24950 is my first TP level. So let's see if we can get that move. Again, we're kind of manipulating a lot here. Stop loss is at 21.21575. It's higher than I would want it to be. And we are getting a manipulation, but again, I still like the setup, and I'm willing to be aggressive on my first entry here, just because I expect us to go up to Asia high. So 49.50 is that TP level. Let me adjust that just so it's for half a lot there. So we'll see, guys. Right now we're kind of struggling to bounce off this 1 minute here. Initially, we got a really good bounce, and now we're just kind of seeing it chop around and struggling. So the one thing I'm worried about here is we might manipulate down and grab this low before we pump. But that's the risk I'm willing to take right now. My first trade of the day, I'm always willing to be a little bit riskier on my first trade of the day, right? Just because we have a lot of room to trade, right? It's our first trade. We're kind of testing out the market. So I'm willing to be just a little bit more risky. Not too much more risky, right? But we'll see here. Let's see what happens. Again, if I get manipulated out, I just look for the next entry. Right now, the fair value gap's holding pretty good. I just don't like the fact that we're looking kind of bearish. No, I'm still holding right now. I'm still holding. You're not seeing my execution on the screen right now because I'm on FundX, right? I'm trading FFN, so you're not seeing my actual execution here. All right, so I'm holding right now. It's not looking too promising. This one looks like it wants to come back down and manipulate me out here. There it is. There it is. Okay, so it just manipulated me out real quick. So, okay, there it is. That's my first trade. We didn't get the fall through. That's okay. Now I wait for my next setup. Right? Small risk there, about 45 ticks. Normally my stop losses are a little bit bigger than 45 ticks. But this is what I do to actually just get a good read on the market. Right? I like to get a good read on the market with my first trade and see if we're actually following through on our moves. Right, we created a bullish unicorn. That's a setup that I wanted to take. We're bouncing off of new day opening gap. We still have London high unmitigated. So now what am I going to do to wait for another setup? I would wait for inversion now. I'd wait for us maybe to create a bearish for value gap on the 1 minute and then inverse that level, or maybe even wait for the 15-minute opening range, because look at that wick right there. Look at that wick on the 15-minute opening range. It's kind of brutal. It's long wick to sell side, long wick to buy side. Now, I still expect us to come up and grab Asia high, right? We do have a little bit of SMT divergence here, bearish SMT. But I still want to see this one come back up. So what I'm going to wait for here is a bearish for value gap to form. And then once we inverse the bearish for value gap, I'm going to look for another entry in the longs again. Up to London high. We'll see though. We'll see if we can run through. If we start to inverse this, I look for another entry here. I look to catch it up to Asia high again. And, you know, if we're not going to run through and we're going to start bouncing and then we start getting closure below and getting a break of structure back down, that's when I change my narrative a little bit back to a bearish narrative, right? To a bearish bias. Overall in the day, I do have a bearish bias. Almost more of a range bias. I expect us to really range a lot today. But whenever I have a previous session high or low sitting this close and we have a really good entry level, I look to take that position, right? Just like this. I really like that entry level. It didn't work out. Oh well, I move on to the next trade. Now I look for inversion and I look for my next entry here. So if we can start pushing above this 1 minute bearish for value gap, I start looking for another long entry. If we can't, then I would probably wait for us to come down and close below this low for my next entry. Or wait for that 15-minute opening range breakout. Right, we just created our 15 minutes, so now we have our 15-minute orb here. That's our 15-minute orb, opening range breakout level. And our high is actually at London high. So right when we start trading through this is when I get my entry. I'm not even going to wait for a close above. I will look for my entry right as we start trading through this 1 minute SIBI, if we do trade through it. So I'll let you know if I do get my entry here. But right as we start pushing through this level is when I get my entry. And it's still aggressive because typically what you want to do is you want to wait for us to close above that level to get an entry. But what I've been seeing a lot in the market recently is we're not really coming back for that 1 minute inverse for value gap too often when we do run through it. So I like getting that more aggressive entry as we start to push through because sometimes it just breaks out and doesn't really come back for us. But right now you can see we're really bouncing off the SIBI. We're respecting it, so I won't be getting an entry, at least not yet. Now we're kind of stuck at new day opening gap. We're stuck at VWAP. We got to see a breakthrough here. We got to see some kind of breakthrough. See the 5 minute. The 5 minute doesn't look too awesome. Just kind of stuck right around our opening price here. Right, opening price is right here, and we haven't really. We're just kind of stuck right around it. We ended up closing, you know, right around open. So now I'll have a little bit more patience and I'll wait for the next setup here. I will wait for the next setup. I'm never in a rush to take a trade, guys. But when I see a setup like this, it makes me more inclined to jump into that trade because I did expect us to try and grab that, you know, that previous session high at Asia high. But now, okay, we've taken one trade, right? We've taken one loss, small loss, 45 ticks. Now it's about, okay, let's be a little bit more patient. Let's wait for the next A+ setup here. And then let's take our entry. And we're not trying to make a loss back. We never try to make our losses back. We only try to take good trades. Only take A+ setups. And if you can focus on only taking A+ setups, you never have to worry about making your losses back again because inevitably, if you're taking good trades, you will more than likely make your losses back at some point. But if you only focus on making your losses back, you're going to end up you're most likely going to end up deeper in the hole than you were before. Because if that's your only focus, that's not a good focus to have. So right now we're just still chopping around. All right, we're respecting the bearish for value gap. We're looking like we want to come down a little bit here. So far, we're already looking pretty range bound. Still respecting that 5 minute busy from yesterday. Which 5 minute busy are we referring to? All the way over here. Are you talking about way down here? All right, so I'm just waiting for inversion here on the 1 minute. If we can run through this, I'm looking for my long entry here. I'm looking to keep my stop below the inverse for value gap. I still expect us to try to grab that Asia high. Hey, what's up, Tony Soprano? How you doing? We're just trying to get that gabagool. Oh, I don't even have my camera on, guys. What's going on? How we doing? Eating some gabagool. Alright, I'm waiting for that inversion. I'm looking for my entry. Okay, we're starting to push through. I'm getting my entry here half a lot, guys. I just got my entry half a lot. 21,221 here is my entry, and we bounce really quick from it. Like I said, this is a very aggressive entry. I won't add into a full until we see it start pumping again, or until maybe I see it close above here. So I'm going to put my stop about 55 ticks below 21,207.50. I need to see inversion, though. If we don't see inversion, I might need to just cut this one and wait for the next entry. I don't like that we really bounce from there after trying to push through. But again, that's the risk you have to take when you are looking for aggressive entries. Sometimes we're not going to get that inversion, and you might just have to cut your trade. All right, this one looks like it really wanted to push through, and then it bounced. So we'll see how we close here on this 1 minute. We got a few seconds. Hey, that was a pretty good close. We didn't get inversion, but that was a good close. I'm going to add into a full if we start pushing through again. I just don't like that we didn't technically close above. So again, just keeping half a lot right now, and I will look to add into a full if we start pushing through the inverse one more time. But right now I'm just going to hold half a lot. I'm not going to take a full, a full position loss on this one. Because I like to still give myself room. Again, I typically will keep 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk to reward. That way if I take 2 or 3 losses, I can make that loss back in one trade, right? Alright, we're starting to pump. I might add into a full if we can start to push above again. I'm going to add into a full here. Same stop loss. My entry didn't move. And I'm still looking for that same TP up here. And now we really need to see us close above. Now that I add into a full, I really want to see us close above that fair value gap. Okay, we got the inversion now. And now we need to see this one follow through. So my stop loss is at 21,207.50. Or 207.50. And now I want to see this one start following through here. And I want to see this one come all the way up to 21,249.50. About 113 ticks. We'll see if this one can start following through. 5 minutes starting to look better. I don't love the 15 minute, to be honest, but I expect us to try and come up and grab that Asia high. So what I would do is if we start pumping pretty good, I would just end up making this a risk-free trade. I'd move my stop loss to break even. No worries about it. But I'm going to still give it some room to push up. So 21,249.50 would be that TP. You can also look to take a TP earlier, right? You could look to take a TP up at this high if you want to, 81 ticks. But I'm looking to catch the full trade here, 21,249.50. That's a pretty good push so far. Let's see if we can keep getting that follow through. All right, so I'm looking for a first TP at 21,249.50. That's my first TP level. Right now, we still look pretty good. We still look pretty good here. That's a good pump. We're almost at 80 ticks. So first TP would be at that Asia high up there that you see. All the way up there. We're almost there. I might make this one a risk-free trade here, guys. I'm just going to move my stop loss to break even here. I'm going to make this risk-free. We just hit over 80 ticks. I think almost 90. We hit 82 ticks, so now that's a risk-free trade. You can take a TP up here if you want to, guys. You can take a TP. This is a pretty good trade so far. Again, if you want to take a TP, take it. I'm looking to keep my risk to reward pretty solid here, and we're creating a fair value gap, and our entry is below the fair value gap, so I'm still going to give this one room, but if you guys want that TP, snag that TP and walk away, right? You don't have to keep holding like me if you don't want to. Okay, we just tapped into that 1 minute. So far, very good trade here. Look at that perfect bounce off the 1 minute busy there. Perfect bounce off the 1 minute busy. Very good trade here, guys. That's what I said. Again, we stay patient for our next entry. All we did was wait for inversion. Even though our first entry didn't work out, this one's working out pretty good so far. Stop loss is at break even, which is at 21,222.75. Or, sorry, 221.75. 221.75. I have it at 221.25. It's 221.75. So it's a little bit higher than this. Right there. So again, guys, you guys can take your TP up here if you want to. We've already hit over 80 ticks. I want to hold up to Asia high because I really expect us to grab that Asia high, and we could push a little bit higher than that. So I'm still giving it a chance. I'm still giving it a chance. If we stall too much, then I'll just grab a TP, right? I won't get too greedy. I'll just end up grabbing a TP. Like, we are stalling a lot here. I don't like that stall. We might come back down and stop my break even here. We'll see if this 1 minute busy can hold. If this 1 minute busy holds us, we'll be okay. But right now we have a lot of bearish momentum here on this 1 minute candle. Again, this could just be a manipulation candle, so I'm still going to hold. Because I have my break even at a really good level right below that fair value gap. It's at a pretty solid level here. I just don't like this candle too much after sweeping liquidity. That's why I said if you guys want to grab TP here, grab TP, right? If you want to grab TP, grab TP. We hit over 80 ticks. You didn't have to keep holding. That's why I let you guys know if you want to take that profit, take that profit. Yeah, it really could be seek and destroy today. That's what I talked about. Could be a range day. We're preparing for CPI and PPI this week, right? We're preparing for CPI and PPI, so it really could be a range day. Ultimately, I do want to see if we're going to break out down to sell side today at some point, but I wanted to see us grab that Asia high before we do that, just because we really got a nice, we got a nice inversion of that 1 minute, a lot of bullish bias here up to Asia high, and that's why I'm still holding right now. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. That was a pretty solid bounce off the 1 minute busy there. We're still respecting our bullish order flow. We're respecting our bullish structure right now. So we'll just see if we can get that follow through. I might end up just looking for a TP if we do trade back up around this level, guys. I won't be greedy. I'll just get back in the profit on the day. But that's a pretty good bounce there. That's a pretty good bounce. Let's see if we can get that follow through now. Can we get that follow through? We do have SMT at the highs, right? That's one thing that's also kind of holding us down. But I really want to see us reach that Asia high after getting a really good bounce off the 1 minute bullish for value gap. I just don't like what I'm seeing over here on ES right now. Do not like that pullback. So I'm going to keep holding, though. I'm going to keep holding. I have a good entry level. Again, it's risk-free for me, so I'm not worried about it. It's a risk-free trade for me. So I'm really not worried. Either way, I can't lose this trade, so that's why I'm willing to hold this one for up to my full TP to keep that risk-to-reward ratio. I want to keep that risk-to-reward pretty consistent. I like to keep my trades very consistent. Because what sometimes happens, if you do start going against your risk reward plan pretty often, you end up losing more than you win because you'll start taking TP too early, right? And then you'll let your losers go for longer, which what ends up happening is you'll take two losses that are like 60 ticks, and then you'll take your profit at 60 ticks, and now you're down, more than you're up, even though you took a winning trade that you could have been at either break even or in the profit if you kept your risk management plan correct. But I'm not against you taking profit here because this is still pretty good profit. It's still over 80 ticks, and you still would have made back your original loss and some more on top. But I'm going to keep holding right now up to that Asia high. We'll see if we can reach up there. We're looking like we're trying to. If we stall again, I'm just going to take profit, though, guys. If we stall up here again, I'm just going to take a TP. We're almost there. We are almost there. Let's see if we can do it. Can we do it? Come on, NQ. Keep pumping. Keep pumping. Let's hit that Asia high. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. Oh my, what? Did that grab my? Okay, there we go. There's first TP, guys. There's first TP. Let's go. Let's go. Honestly, I might just take out everything up here, guys. I might just sell everything up here. I think I'm just going to sell everything. I just closed everything. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. Boom. Boom. And guys, we have a little theme at Eternal Exchange. Every time we get our winning trade, we like to play a little song in celebration. So, let's play that song in celebration. Let's go, guys. There we go. Nice little win there to start the day. Come on. Come on. Let me see those W's. Let me see those W's, guys. I got to get this on video here. We finally got a good trade setup on my FFN stream. It's been so long. Come on, let's see it. Spam it, spam it, spam it. There we go. There we go. Boom. And look at that perfect sell, guys. Look at that perfect sell. Look at that. That's perfect. We got out at the perfect time. Look at that. That was a good sell. That was a really good sell right there. Let's go. So you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. Let's go, guys. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm very happy we finally got a good trade set up on my FFN stream. Every time I hop on this stream, it ends up chopping and looking terrible, and we finally got a really good setup. Let's go, Ron. 120 bucks with 3 micros. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, I mean, that's just a quick 111 ticks. That's a pretty solid trade right there. I'm happy, guys. I'm content with that win. I'm content. Again, we can always look for another trade setup if we want to. We can keep hanging out. We can talk about some education. Yes, the curse is finally broken. It's finally broken, guys. The curse. Do 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 do. Up the dirty window. Very nice, guys. How we feeling? Looks like we're feeling pretty good. Yes. Yes. I love Kip. God, now I need to go rewatch Napoleon Dynamite. You can let it in. The curse breaker, man. Yes. Yes. Alright. Music's getting a little loud. I can't even think anymore with how loud that music was. Yeah, guys. So, on a day like this, we waited for our A+ setup, right? We took the aggressive entry. Didn't work out. We got manipulated out, but we had the right idea. All we had to do was be more patient and wait for inversion and get our second entry there. Boom. And then I kept holding, right? Kept holding to TP, take our TP. And then I had a strong, my analysis tells me that when we take out Asia high like that and we're trading into a 4-hour SIBI, right? A 4-hour bearish imbalance up here. We trade into the 4-hour. We also trade into a 1-hour bearish unicorn. We traded back into a 15-minute bearish unicorn. All that stuff tells me that we are more likely to start dropping from here than we are to keep pumping, right? And that's why I just took my full TP. I didn't want to keep holding because I didn't expect us to move up much further. What did I talk about when we first came into the session? I said I want to see us manipulate up and grab Asia high, London high, and then I want to see us reverse back down for low of day. Now, I don't know if we're necessarily going to go for low of day today just because we might be really range bound today. We might sit around this level the entire day. But that would be my initial analysis, would be manipulation up to grab our previous session highs, and then we reverse and come back down for London low, and then for previous day low. That's my analysis right now. Now it's just a matter of, are we going to see real price action for the rest of the day, or are we just going to see a lot of chop and seek and destroy profile, right? So we'll see. That's why I sold, and you can see, if I didn't sell, I would have gotten stopped at break even there, so it was a really good sell. We took full TP with our full position at 111 ticks, so pretty solid. I did not wait for the discount to enter. Yes, and that's it. Well, technically, it just depends on what discount you're talking about, right? So at market open, if we look at this little range right here, look at this little 1 minute range. We did trade down into the OTE of this range into the discount, right? That was what I didn't do on the first one. Is that maybe that's what you're talking about, Victor, right? On my first trade, I did not wait for us to trade into the discount, so that is true. And then the second trade, we did wait for us to trade into the discount into OTE, and then we got, yeah, okay. So you were talking about that. Perfect. Yeah, and that's a reason, right? That is very true. I didn't wait for us to trade into the discount, which at market open, I'm not too concerned about premium discount, but as you can see here, that did play a big factor, right? That did play a big factor. If I would have waited for that, we wouldn't have taken the loss. But again, that was the risk I was willing to take there. We took the risk, took a small loss, and then we came back and we, got back in the profit and made, had a pretty good win on that trade. So 100% I agree with you. If we would have waited for that, again, we see that trade play out pretty good. But yeah, I really like that setup. And this is now when I would start looking for the reversal, to start looking for shorts. Once we come back down, like we just inverse that 1 minute busy there. If we start trading below VWAP and we create a reversal pattern here, that's when I start looking for the shorts, right? If we close below this low here, we get a bearish breaker now. Right there, this would be our break of structure here, BOS. And now I would start thinking about the shorts off of a bearish breaker, the lowest down close candle here. Just like I talked about, this was my analysis coming into the day. We're seeing it play out exactly. But again, I don't know if I'll keep trading. Right now, maybe I will trade on my live account here. Again, I grabbed my profit on the FFN account. I don't need to trade the FFN account anymore. So maybe now I will hop onto a live account and maybe look for one more trade with you guys. Let's see if we get this reversal. If we get this break of structure here, we're going to have a bearish unicorn on the 1 minute. I'm expecting this one to come all the way down, possibly to London low. So we'll see. If there's a setup, I'll call it out for you guys. I'll look to take it. I set actual stops, but I also have mental stops. So I do have hard stops. Like on that trade, I had a hard stop loss. But I also have mental stops. So if like my trade isn't playing out how I want it to, if there's certain levels that we start disrespecting, that's my mental stop, and I will look just to cut the trade. But I always have a hard stop, no matter what. I will always have a hard stop in my trade. Sometimes it takes me a few minutes or a few seconds to get my stop where I want it to be. But yes, a hard stop is a necessity for me, and I think it should be a necessity for most people. So it just depends, right? It depends on the trade. My stops range from anywhere from like 40 to 60 ticks to 65 ticks. It just depends on how volatile we are. It depends on the setup, and it depends how heavy I'm trading. So normally, like on my main account, I'm keeping around a 50, 60 tick stop usually. And it just depends on the trade setup. Like this one, if we get a nice unicorn entry up here, which I might actually take. And again, I won't be trading the FFN account anymore on this one. I'd be trading the main account. But again, I could keep my stop up here about 60 ticks and keep it above new day opening gap. But I'm still looking for a pretty nice TP. You know, you could take TP here and have a 50 tick stop, keep it at a 1 to 2. Or I'm holding all the way down at least for the 4 hour here, or even all the way down for London low. That would make me, you know, a 60 tick stop is doable there because I can hold it for 300 ticks, right? So the risk to reward makes sense there. So here's the deal. You could look for an entry in the shorts already off of that breaker block there. You can see we're already bouncing off of it. That's honestly not a bad entry level right there. Or you could wait and see if we're going to trade up into the unicorn fair value gap up here, which would be more of an ideal entry. But again, that breaker entry is not the worst entry to take. Not the worst entry. You could definitely look to take that entry right there off the bearish breaker, and then look to hold it all the way down to this low here, equal lows, and then all this low resistance liquidity down here, and maybe all the way down to London low. So we'll see how much of the reversal we're going to get. On the 1 minute, we're looking very bearish here. We look like we really want to come down here and take out all this liquidity, just like we talked about pre-market. This is the exact idea, the exact analysis we talked about so far, right? We come up at market open, we grab London high, Asia high. That's the first thing I said. And then I said I want to see us reverse down to previous day low. So right now we got the first step. We'll see if we get the next step, right? Which it's starting to look like we are. It's starting to look like we are getting that next step in the process here. So we just created a 1 minute bearish order block right here. This is a 1 minute bearish order block. This up close candle. We close below. But I would like to see if we want to come back up to that unicorn, or even wait for the 5 minute to create a 5 minute SIBI right here. 5 minute bearish for value gap. We could even wait for that. Yeah, guys, and another announcement, what Connor just sent, 50% off resets for FFN if you use the code TraderJoe50. TraderJoe50. Use code TraderJoe50 for 50% off resets. Good until 11 a.m. Eastern time, so about, an hour left. But yeah, guys, so again, I don't have to take another trade right now, but I am looking for another setup because I do think there's a lot of potential in these shorts right now. And I thought about taking this entry right here. I just didn't get into it. I wanted to wait and see if we could get a better entry. But if you did take that entry, that trade's looking pretty good so far. Trade's looking pretty good. Did anybody jump into that short entry off the bearish breaker block there? That's first TP level right there. So we already hit our first TP level if you did get that entry. I did. There we go. There we go. Eating. You guys are eating. Let's go. Let's go. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Trade 903? What's your question, man? Very nice, guys. Very nice. Look at that bounce. Right out. Look at equal lows. We sweep, and we bounce instantly off equal lows. Great TP level. Great TP level right there. That's why I said this is a really solid first TP level. So I'm waiting right now to see if we want to create that 5-minute SIBI here, 5-minute bearish fair value gap. We have about 1 minute left on this 5-minute candle, and then I would like to see us trade up into the 5-minute SIBI, trade into the 1-minute bearish unicorn or breaker, and then take my entry off of that. That is the entry I would like to look for here. No. Try to keep the win streak going for us. Make it a 6-day win streak. I mean, for most of you, it's already a 6-day win streak. For most of our members, a part of Eternal Exchange. Remember, last week, guys, we only traded 3 days of the 5 days last week, and we caught over 250 points in 3 days. 250 points in 3 days. It's pretty solid. And what did we catch yesterday? Not much, right? I had to battle back from being in the red yesterday, but we ended up finishing green at the end of the day. And it was a great way to end. Great way to end the day, that's for sure. So it wasn't much of a profit yesterday, but we battled back from the red and ended green. And that was pretty cool to do. All right, here we go. 5-minute SIBI. I want to see us trade up into it now. I want to see us maybe tap into the unicorn. And then I want to look for a short entry here. That's facts, Frank. That's very true. It's just a normal thing. It's just a normal thing. All right, we're trying to tap into the unicorn right now. Let's see what kind of reaction we're going to get here. We're now tapping into the unicorn, back in a new day opening gap. I'm not just going to jump in. I want to see a good reaction before I jump in, just because we are looking like seek and destroy so far today. So I want to see. That's why I said to take profit here at this low, guys, because of seek and destroy profile. Seek and destroy profile. You take your profit here just in case we reverse and come back up for buy side. That's why you take your TP there. And as you can see right now, we are completely reversing right now. And that's why I don't take my entry off an aggressive bullish candle. I wait for a reaction off of my resistance level and then jump in. If I would have just jumped in on that position right there, I would have gotten stopped out within a few seconds. That's why I like to wait for reactions to know that my levels are being respected, because now we just closed above the unicorn model, right? So now there's no point in me jumping into a short position anymore. Let's see. Your friend bought the plus version in TradingView and connected the prop firm to it, but there's still no real data. Charts are late. What should he do? Because the prop firm says it has the real data included. No, so you have to get the actual data on TradingView. It doesn't matter if you have it through the prop firm. You still have to get it on TradingView. And it's I think it's $7 a month just for CME data. Yeah, so you would have the data on the actual brokerage with your prop firm. That's what they're talking about, is that data, but you have to actually pay for the TradingView data. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we're getting that reversal, so no longer looking for that short. So, guys, it looks like we're just going to range back and forth today. It looks like we're really going to have seek and destroy profile here. Just keep that in mind. If you are going to keep trading, keep that in mind. What you want to look for with seek and destroy profiles, you want to look for a lot of SMT divergence. And what does that mean if you're new to, maybe watching me trade or even just ICT concepts in general? SMT divergence is where, let's say ES fails to take out these highs up here, the swing high, and NQ comes up and sweeps that swing high. That's an SMT divergence where we see a divergence in correlating markets. And when you're looking at seek and destroy profile, and here's another term for you, if you don't know what seek and destroy profile is, that's just where we come back and forth and we grab sell side liquidity. We grab buy side liquidity. We come back for sell side, and we just kind of range back and forth the entire day. That's what seek and destroy profile is. So if you use seek and destroy in confluence with SMT divergence, when you see NQ take out a high and ES fails to take out a high, you look for the reversal. And same thing at the lows. If you see NQ take out a low and ES fails to take out a low, you look for the reversal, right? So, and if you guys are very confused about this, join my free Discord, and I have free education about all of these concepts. I have free videos about all of these ideas. So if you're like feeling like I'm speaking an alien language right now, a foreign language, go watch those videos, or just join the free Discord and then continue to ask me questions in the chat room or on our free Fridays, and I'll keep answering them for you. But I always talk about, without education, without knowledge of the market, and if you're really trying to be an independent trader, it's going to be very difficult. You're never going to be an independent trader unless you do the research and you do the studying. But even if you're a copy trader, you still want to have a decent understanding of these concepts so you know that when you're following my trade or you're following someone else's trade, you're like, okay, this is why I'm following the trade. I'm not just blindly following it. So I still think even as a copy trader, it's good to understand the concepts just a little bit. So that's just my 2 cents for right now. Almost back to break even from red after that short. Made 20K on Peanut Coin yesterday though. Dude, the coins are going crazy right now. Crypto is going insane. Dude, you made 20K from Peanut? That is wild. Oh yeah, I'll send you that. I'll send you that link right now. That is wild, man. I know, it's always that shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm like, dude, what if I invested more in Bitcoin? What if I invested more in another coin, in Ethereum? I'm just like, you know what? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. It is what it is. You know, still making money, so that's all that really matters. You put in 2K a week ago? That's wild, bro. You just made 20K off of $2,000 in a week. Good for you, man. Good for you. That is amazing. That's amazing. Well, technically, you haven't made it unless you sold. Have you sold? So you technically haven't made any money until you sold. That's all I'm saying. People love to post their profits on social media, but they never actually sell. There you go. See, that's the way to do it, I think, in my opinion, is yeah, you take your profit off a quick bull run like that, but you leave some runners, same thing, same idea as day trading. Leave some runners, leave some contracts in there so you can at least, if it does keep going, make some more money, or even wait for it to come back down and reinvest if that's what you're looking to do. That's what I like to do when it comes to crypto or any kind of investing, really. But again, this is not professional. This is not professional investing advice. Okay, I'm not a professional. This is not professional advice. Just take that in mind. It's just my personal opinion. Please don't. Please don't. All right, guys. Well, again, we got our win for the morning. I don't think I'll take another trade right now. I think probably I'll wait until maybe around that London close time. Maybe around London close, I'll look for another trade. I don't really want to trade the Seek and Destroy right now. It's not like my favorite profile to trade. I might just give it a little bit of time, probably around like 11:30 Eastern. Look for another trade around that time. Jolly, you said shorts off the BPR. I just don't like shorting while we're on top of New Day opening gap and right above VWAP. That's not my favorite thing to do. Just because we have support, we're also in a bullish for value gap here. It's not my favorite thing to do. I like to wait for more clear price action, clear disrespect of certain levels before I'm looking for entries. I would personally stay out of this market at this current moment. I probably wouldn't be taking any trades. I'm not going to take any trades. I would stay clear of this. You already got the win on the day, right? You're already in profit. The worst thing you can do right now for yourself is to start forcing entries because you're getting greedy and you lose all your profits from that trade that we caught over 100 ticks on, right? That's the worst thing you could do for yourself right now. So my advice would be take your profit and go take a walk, right? Go get some fresh air, clear your mind. Don't sit here and just start forcing trades and then end up back to break even or back in the red because you got greedy. What are the worst emotions for us as traders? It's greed, it's FOMO, right? We don't want to do that because then we start revenge trading, then we start over trading. We have kind of a false confidence, and that's not what we want. We don't want a false confidence. We want to take our wins and be humble, right? Because when we're not humble in this market, the market will humble you itself. The market likes to humble you when you start getting overconfident. So whenever you can take from the market, you take. And I like this idea of the market offers us a little bit a day, right? It offers us something that we can take. And we take our piece. We don't take what the market's not offering us. If the market's not offering us something and you're trying to steal from the market, it's just going to humble you real quick, right? It's going to humble you. You take what the market offers you, and you should be content with that. Sometimes on the day the market's going to offer us 400 ticks, cool. We take 400 ticks and then we walk away. Sometimes the market only offers us 100 ticks. Awesome. We take our 100 ticks and we walk away. Sometimes the market offers us nothing, so don't try to force trades and steal from the market when it's not offering you anything, right? We observe the market. We are observers. We wait for our time to execute. When it's our time to execute, we execute. We take our trades, we take our money, and we walk away. right? That's the way I look at the market because I didn't look at the market that way before. When I was originally getting into my trading journey, I always thought that no matter what time in the market, no matter what setup there is, I can always make money, but it's not true. There's only going to be certain times in the market you truly can make money the right way. So if you can stay disciplined to that and you can walk away when you hit your profit, you can walk away when you're in the red, you will be way more of a consistent trader than you ever were before. And that's all we focus on at Eternal Exchange in my trading Discord is discipline, discipline, discipline. Just like last week, we traded 3 of the 5 days because 2 days we didn't like the price action. We wanted to stay away from it, right? We didn't like it, so we stayed away. What did that allow us to do? It allowed us to not lose our mental capital on those 2 days we didn't trade by forcing bad trades and then losing money. So we saved our real capital, we saved our mental capital, so that on the other 3 days of that week, we're able to have amazing profits and catch over 250 points. It's that exact idea, right? And then going into this week, yesterday was a rough day in the morning. We got chopped up a little bit, but we were able to keep our risk management tight. And then we waited for our next A+ setup. And when we got that A+ setup, we took it and we got back in the green on the day. We didn't try to make our losses back. We just tried to take a good trade. That's what it's all about. Yep, the market always finds a way to punish certainty. Exactly, right? Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The market makes the best humble pie. Indeed. Indeed it does. You feel exposed? New trader as of 6 months. Hey, no. And that's why I say it, right? Because a lot of us are new. A lot of people here are new to trading. And that's why I say it, because it's so important, right? And it's not to call you out. It is kind of to call you out. It is a little bit to call you out. Just to show you, you might be doing the wrong thing. You might be doing the wrong thing. Remember, this trading is the long term. It's not the short term. You want to build a consistent strategy and a consistent discipline to where you can make money the rest of your life or as long as you want to, not so that you can make money in the next month. That's not what it's about. It's about making money for the rest of your life, for as long as you trade for. Right? But if you only focus on trying to make money in the next month, you're going to get wrecked, right? You're going to lose your money. So just try to build the discipline, take A+ setups, and it's easier said than done. But the more and more you focus on discipline, the better you're going to get. I'm telling you, the more consistent of a trader you will get. And that's what most traders don't teach is discipline. And that's the most important part of trading is discipline. And most traders don't teach that. Most traders just hop on a live, they take their trades, and they full port or whatever they're doing. Not all of them, most of them don't full port, but they don't teach discipline. And discipline is the number one thing that will make you a successful trader, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, but that's what I found for myself. It's true for myself, and I know it's true for plenty of other people, right? And why is that? Because motivation always runs out. You're always going to lose motivation at some point in your trading journey. You're going to feel like giving up. You're going to feel like you don't want to keep trading. And what's going to keep you a consistent trader is by being disciplined, right? Whenever motivation runs out, discipline is steadfast. Discipline keeps you strong, right? So you do the same thing every day. You hop on with the same risk management plan, the same contract sizing. Unless price is super volatile, then you size down a little bit. And you just look for consistent gains one day at a time, 1% better every day. Right? That's what I focus on, and that's what we focus on at Eternal Exchange is discipline and consistency. There you go. That's amazing, right? You've prayed for God to relieve your debts, right? And now you see an opportunity. Perfect. And that is, I was just talking about this with John, right, the other day. And John is our full-time risk management and wellness coach at Eternal Exchange. And we were just talking about how when you have such power like we do with trading, you have to be responsible. And it's so cliche, but it goes back to that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's true. We have so much power to be able to make amazing real money here with trading. But if you don't take that seriously and you don't respect the markets, then nothing good will come from it. So if you can take it seriously and you can respect these markets and you can respect that responsibility that you have as a trader, right, and use your power for good. Use your power for good, right? Don't use your power for bad. That's the way I look at it. Yep, sitting on the hands and walking away is one of the best things you can do. One of the best things you can do as a trader. There is days on our trading Discord, and my members can attest to it, where we sit in front of the computer for 2 hours and we don't take a single trade. right? And people have seen it here. Some of you guys have seen it here on the FFN Discord. There's been multiple days where I've sat in front of the computer and we didn't take a single trade for 2 hours because price action was so bad and it was low probability. I didn't want to take a bad trade, right? So I don't care if I have to sit out of an entire day of trading. I will if that means that, I'm going to save some capital and not take bad trades. Yep, exactly, right? I talk about that so much. You are trading to get payouts ASAP to pay debt, and that's why you keep failing. That is so true. That is the truest thing ever. If you are trading to just try and make money and you're focused on the money, you're not going to be successful. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. You have to focus on just trading the right way, taking good trades, and the money is the byproduct of your discipline, right? That's something I preach almost every single day. The money is a byproduct of your discipline or of your process. If you're disciplined to your process every day, the money is it'll start flowing in, right? It'll flow in and you won't even think about it. But every time you get into trade and you're staring at that P&L on your screen, you keep staring at the P&L, your emotions take over, you start taking bad trades, you start getting out of your winning trades quick, you start letting your losers continue to run, and it ends up just kind of being a snowball effect, right? So I like that you said that because that's so true, so important. Stop focusing on trying to make money, but focus on trying to trade the right way, and then the money will come in. It's just how it works, and that's how it worked for me. That's how it worked for, I think, pretty much every successful trader, is when you stop focusing on the money starts coming, right? It's a weird concept, but it's just the truth. Yeah, the PA is pretty trash right now. Pretty trash. I'm not liking this right now. We caught our good trade. We caught our nice setup there. We caught 111 ticks. That's all I need for the day right now. I'll come back later and look for better price action on our Discord when we run our prop firm session. But yeah, for now, I'm going to stay out of this. Exactly. Let the trades come to you. Let the trades come to you. Patience pays. Patience does pay. Awesome. Well, we were very excited to have you a part of Eternal Exchange. Very excited. Yes, no, relying on indicators is not the way. Relying on indicators is not smart in my opinion. You can use indicators. I'm not against indicators, but they need to be in confluence with a good technical analysis strategy. That's my opinion. I haven't really seen any successful traders, at least around me, that I've ever met, that have solely become successful because of indicators. But sometimes you can use indicators as confirmation with your technical analysis strategy. I'm not against that idea. Who taught me to be more disciplined? A lot of people. A lot of people. Right? And I attribute a lot of it to being an athlete growing up, playing sports, especially football. Football is really what taught me discipline. During high school football, there would be days where you're practicing for 4 or 5 hours every single day, and then you have to go home, and then you have to do homework, and then you got to wake up and do it all over again. And it's hard. And whatever, if you guys are athletes or you have those things that you do that are difficult to do, and John was talking about this the other day, but you have to do the difficult thing, right? If you do the difficult thing every day, you're going to be disciplined. But if you take the easy route, if you keep taking the easy route every single day, you're not going to build discipline. You're just going to, it goes back to that idea of, what does it say? Hard times create strong people. Strong people create easy times, right? It's something like that. It's that exact idea, right? If you just take the easy route every single day, are you ever going to grow or become a disciplined person? No, you're just not. But if you do things in your everyday life, that are difficult, that are teaching you to be a disciplined person, it's going to translate directly into your trading. You are more than likely going to be a disciplined trader. Now, it's going to take practice and it's going to take time, but it's just, in my opinion, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. So, yes, I do attribute it a lot back to the way I was raised and playing competitive sports. And then when it comes to trading, it was just, I was so sick of making the same mistake over and over and over again. I was sick of it, and I knew I had to change, right? I knew I had to change something. And I was so focused on just making money all the time that I could never make money, because then I would just full port an account. I would hope to get a payout. I would try to get a payout in 2 days. I would blow my PA account in less than a week every single time I got one. And it was just so frustrating. I felt like I was drowning, right? It's like that drowning feeling where you just want to give up. And I finally came to the realization that the only way I was going to be successful in trading is if I stopped focusing on making money and I just stuck to a strategy and just kept focusing on the strategy and learned everything I could about it. And once I started doing that, everything started to change for me, right? Because then I started seeing the money flowing in. I wasn't focused on trying to get a payout in a week. I was just focused on holding on to an account for a long time. If I could hold on to a PA account for 30 days, I was way more likely to get a payout, right? Because I knew that I wasn't full porting. I knew that I was trading the right amount of contracts. But every time I would hop on a live account or a PA account or whatever, I would try to full port and go super heavy and just try to make a bunch of money in 1 week. I would lose it all, right? So I knew I had to be disciplined if I ever wanted to make real money. And that's what it comes down to. You have to want it. You have to have a passion for it. You have to really want to be successful and to want, to do the right thing and to have a good process. And ultimately, it's kind of falling in love with trading. And I think a lot of us here we love to trade, right? We love it because it's such a challenge. It is such a challenge. It's you versus you, right? Yes, you're going against the market, but really it's you versus you. And if you are competitive, you love to trade, right? You love to trade because it's such a crazy challenge that we're put up against. And how do you beat these challenges? You stay disciplined and you work hard. All right, I made a video on social media a few days ago where I said, think about anybody in your entire life, or anybody, like, let's just say a CEO of a company or a professional athlete or anybody that's super successful at what they do. Are they a disciplined person? And every person that I could think of off the top of my head, I said, yes, they are an extremely disciplined person, because there is no way they would be as successful as they are right now if they weren't disciplined, right? I think about a basketball player. I think about Kobe Bryant. Yes, he had great skills. He was gifted, but he was one of the most disciplined people you would ever see on a basketball court, right? And that's why he was so successful. Same thing with so many athletes. Same thing with so many CEOs of companies. With anybody you can think of that is very successful, they have to be extremely disciplined to their craft, right? And it's the same thing. You've got to treat trading like it's a profession, because it is. If you're trying to make this a profession of yours, if you are trying to make this a steady stream of income for yourself in the future at some point, then you have to treat it like it's a profession, right? So a little bit of a rant there, but I am so passionate about this stuff. I don't want to just hop on and talk about technical analysis. I want to also talk about the really important things, because I do think that psychology and risk management are probably 90% of trading. I think that 10% is probably the technical analysis and the actual trading part, and the rest of it is psychology and it's risk management. That's what's truly important, and that's why we talk about it so much at Eternal Exchange. So much, because that is what's important, right? Is it Joe for a dude? No, I actually it's just J-O. It's just J-O, a little bit different. Technically, my nickname my whole life has been JoJo, right? So it's J-O-J-O. So I just think it's weird when it's J-O-E. It just looks strange. So it's just J-O, just a simple J-O. Oh, no way. Well, you have an amazing name, probably the best name out there. Most definitely the best name out there. No offense to anybody else, but I think you have the best name out there. Just gonna throw that out there real quick. Ioania. Is it Ioania? Where are you from, Ioania? Excuse me. Did I say it wrong? You're born in Cuba. I've been to Cuba three times. I've been to Cuba 3 times. I absolutely love Cuba. Oh my gosh, it is one of my favorite places I have ever been to. That's amazing. Hey, nice. Army moved you around. Now in Texas. Very cool. Okay, so you're raised in New Jersey, and now you're in Texas, retiring 5 years. Good for you. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, we're super excited to have you part of the Discord. Very excited. Tony, you said we love to trade and hate to lose. It's true. I hate to lose, guys. I absolutely despise losing. I hate it. But I don't let my losses control me, right? I don't let my losses control me. I hate losing. More than most people. It really pisses me off. But if you let it get to you in trading, you're just gonna spiral down, and you're not gonna be a good trader. So as much as I hate to lose, whenever I do lose, I just have to take a deep breath and think, okay, this is just a part of the game. If I focus on my risk management, it doesn't matter because I can take 2 or 3 losses and I can get back in the green or back to break even with one single trade. New Jersey. Tony Soprano owns New Jersey. He owns that place. Okay, guys. Well, that's what I got for you for everybody at EE. We're going to hop on for prop firm session, and then John has his session today. And John, you actually said you're talking about what I was just going over, right? Very nice. So definitely look to join up on John's session. And one more time, I'll send the link for anybody that didn't join already. If you want to join, we would love to have you a part of Eternal Exchange. Of course. Can I call you JoJo? Or Yo-Yo? In Cuba, they call me Yo-Yo. That's what they call me. They call me Yo-Yo there. I need to go back. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate every one of you for being here. Great session today. Hold on to that profit. Yes, there is a schedule posted under our schedule tab. Under our schedule tab in the Discord. It's near the top. Of course. Why no more you and Danny? Oh, we just chose to move in separate directions, right? Danny was going the prop firm route. He was going to create the prop firm, and I wanted to create a community of my own. We also trade different strategies, so we thought it was a good idea to kind of break off, and I would do my thing, and he would do his thing. But, again, we're still homies. Talk to him still pretty consistently. So, no bad blood or anything. Yeah, I used to be a live trader at Traders Evolve. That's where I started my live trading stuff. That's where I started. Same with John. Me and John both started over there with Danny. I've known Danny since high school. We've been good friends since high school. I actually went to Cuba with Danny. So, a lot of connections. Yeah, I know. Pretty crazy, huh? Small world. I always believe that. God always has a reason. God always has a reason for wherever you're at in life. Top G. I try my best. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. Just bought the real-time data, still late. Trade 903, shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM. I'll help you through it. I'll walk you through it. All right, guys. That's all I got for you this morning. Great stuff today. God bless every one of you. Stay safe. Hold on to those profits. Go touch some grass. Get some fresh air. Get some sunlight. Take care of your mental health, all right? Peace be with you as well. Thanks, Bahama. Later, Zip. Later, guys. Thanks, Blind. Yes, and drink water. And drink some water. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I will see you for prop firm session. Of course. Peace out, my friends.